I just read 12. For the next hour, I could go through the Bible and it would be the same thing. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It is the most common direction in the entire Bible. It is said more than anything else. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. So if we're not going to be afraid, what can we use to counter the fears that we have? And the opposite of fear is trust. Now, we all know when you're in a relationship, if there's not trust in that relationship, it can be very, very difficult. If you don't trust that the other person has your best interests at heart, that relationship is uneasy. If you don't trust that other person won't betray you, that relationship is uneasy. If you don't trust that other person will lie to you or cheat you or betray a confidence, that relationship is uneasy. We all know that. We've all been in relationships where there is no trust, and that relationship is very difficult to manage. Well, it's exactly the same thing when we turn to our relationship with ourselves, we turn to our relationship with life, we turn to our relationship with God. If we don't trust ourselves to maintain and manage the events of our lives as we go along, it's going to be a very, very uneasy relationship with the self. If we don't trust life to never give us anything that we can't manage or handle, if we don't trust life when we see life as the enemy, it's a very difficult journey down the path of life. And if we don't trust God to provide for us, and when I talk about God, I'm not talking about somebody out there. I'm not talking about a person, a deity. I'm not talking about anything but that spirit within you, that inexhaustible, undefeatable spirit within you that is always capable of providing for you exactly what you need to make it through a difficult time and continue on to a higher good. If we don't have trust in God, in the spirit of our being, in that which provides all for us, life is an unnerving experience. We spend most of the time afraid of what's happening, afraid of what might happen, or afraid of what just did happen. Trust is the key. In the midst of trust, fear dissipates, it evaporates, it disappears. There's a story about a fellow that was walking through the grasslands of Africa one evening, a very dark evening, and all of a sudden a lion jumped out at him and bellowed out a very startling roar. Well, the man took off running in the dark through the grass, and somehow he accidentally ran off the side of a cliff. But as he is falling, a branch growing out of the side of the cliff stopped his fall. He was able to grab a hold of it. So there the man is, in the pitch dark, holding on to the branch. And after a while, his arms begin to get tired, his shoulders become numb, his neck begins to ache, and so he prays. He says, "Dear God, please save me, I don't want to die." And a voice from the heavens said, "Let go of the branch." And the man said, "No, you don't understand. I'm not ready to go yet. I've got a full life to live. Don't allow me to perish." And God said, "Let go of the branch." Now let's pause for a moment. And let's take you and put you in that position where you're hanging in the pitch dark, you're holding onto the branch, you're afraid, you pray, and that intuitive voice within you says, "Let go of the branch. Trust me, let go of the branch." What are you going to do? Most of us would probably hold on to the branch. We wouldn't trust that voice. And when you're dealing with situations and circumstances in your life that are very difficult to carry, and they hurt and they cause pain, and you hear that little voice say, "Let go and let God," yet we're afraid to. What'll happen if I do? What'll happen if I let go of this relationship that's causing problems and conflict in my life? What'll happen? What'll happen if I step out and do this? Will I fail? Will I look foolish? What am I going to do with so-and-so? You know, I hold on to all this pain and all this hurt. I'm afraid to let go and let God. And all that means is, here, God, you take this. I can't handle it in my life anymore. That's okay. It's okay to do that. So are we going to trust God and say, here, take this problem. I know everything is going to be just fine without it in my life? Or we're going to be like that man hanging onto the branch, the side of a cliff, pitch dark, in pain and in misery, and watching as the sun comes up in the east, slowly creeps across the canyon floor, makes his way up the side of the cliff, and he can see he's only a foot off the ground. Let go of the branch. You won't get hurt. You have what it takes to move on. You can adapt to any situation or circumstance. Anything that hampers your peace of mind, that causes you internal stress, internal pain, internal suffering, if there's nothing you can do about it, let go of it. Let go and let God. Now, as we go through the meditation this morning, I want you to think about anything in your life that you might be holding on to. Anything that has the slightest bit of disturbance to it, the slightest bit of uneasiness to it, the slightest bit of agitation, irritation, anything, think of the freedom that you'll gain just by letting go, putting it down and walking away from it and saying, I am done with that. I don't have to do this anymore. This is your chance to let go and to be free. We'll now move into meditation.